Here we go. I believe we're live. Drop me a note if we are, in fact, and
He's talked on my executive calls before.
You can see change of venue today. I'm in Spokane, Washington for our Gold Retreat that happens this week. I love Gold Retreat. And
can everyone hear? Blink twice. OMG, I'm so excited. Hi, Lynn. Good morning. Happy Monday. But is it really a joke? What joke? Oh, yeah, that I get what you're saying now. Blink, blink. Yes. Okay. What up? What up? What up?
I'd love to hear, for those of you in the that are live here, tell me when you did your Gold Retreat. If you have, I've actually seen a number of diamonds, crowns, and even royals here, actually, that are doing their first Gold Retreat. So it's really great to see so many of you, and great memories. I'm sure you have great memories from Gold Retreat here when you went, but let us know, what was your highlight from Gold Retreat? And just know that this week we're doing some, it's a fantastic week. Great week for your golds. I'm sure a lot of you have golds that are here. And we have a training day today. We'll hear from some of the best and brightest at Young Living. Tomorrow is our farm.
Mommy, we need to give you a super huge present because this is literally the best.
Day, St. Mary's 30-year anniversary, as I think you know, and also the birthplace of Seed to Seal. So it's a very special farm, a very special place. Lots of history, lots of legacy. Very excited about that. And then we do our river rafting, which is really, really fun. And I am going to do my best to get all of your golds wet on the river rafting trip. So
what? No, sir.
No, sir. Absolutely not. What the hell? Ew.
I know what he meant. It's just gross. Like, come on. There's only women in Young Living, basically, who are higher up. There's a very few percentage of men, and he said that. Give me a break.
That's my commitment to all of you, but looking forward to what is a fantastic week. I love Gold Retreat. I love our golds. I love what they represent. I was reminiscing to my Gold Retreat that I first attended in 2016, when I vividly recall meeting Echo and Danny Hill, who at the time were just bright-eyed, bushy-tailed golds. And of course, now they're Royal Crown diamonds. And seeing that journey, their development and all of yours it's such a joy. It's what I love, love, love about our business. And I just love meeting these amazing people. It's shocking how talented and capable and amazing our golds are. So I'm so very excited.
I do not believe one word that this dude says. He's saying so. The only thing I want from Young Living is that huge glass diffuser. DC, hook me up under your downline. Which one? The Aria or the blown glass one? Let me know. I can hook you up.
About this week.
I can just send you mine.
Send all the good vibes and lots of love to all of our golds, and have them come up and say hello. Let's take pictures. I want to make sure I get a chance to talk to as many of your people as I possibly can. So we've got a great call planned for you today. You're going to get a chance to hear from a couple of gentlemen who help us uphold our Seed to Seal commitment to quality. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. I've also got a really, really, really exciting announcement for you today. You're going to be the first to hear it. And so excited to share a new member of our team that you're going to absolutely love and you'll be hearing more from moving forward. So excited to make those introductions. But let me start by saying, first of all, that I know it's very disappointing, but we do have a leak in this page. You all know this. This is not a news flash. I want you to know we're pursuing both the leak and those who are sharing screenshots and using.
What up? What up, buddy? We may have to turn this private. I don't know. I'm like nervous. I'm like twitching right now. Everyone in the live chat, be on your best behavior. Mombi gave us a literal gift. Is he saying that they're pursuing the leak? Buddy. You're late.
Using it to slander Young Living. So we're on it. I know it's created a lot of drama and a lot of headaches, and I'm really sorry for it.
Sir, Young Living created the drama itself. Are you effing kidding me right now? Being in Young Living for 3 years, and yeah, did I make it to the tippity top? No, I did not. But you learn a lot when you're producing all of the graphics for people who are higher up and who have conversations with bigger people. Hello, the leak isn't us. We've been super careful. This is the only thing from a private group I've allowed shared. Yeah, and it's unlisted and we may even turn it private. So if y'all are seeing this, please be good and don't share it out. I have locked down our Discord. I may even turn it private after we're done streaming. Holy
for for that, of course. And so just want you to know we're on it. Secondly, I want you to know I couldn't care less. I really couldn't care less because I just don't have time. I don't have time for any of the drama. And the only information I see is because I get screenshots from our brand partners, which I promptly send to our legal team. And like I said, they're on it. But I want you to know that I personally have way more important things to do in my life than worry about unfounded rumors and gossip about our business. And my concern,
this is making me so mad. This is making me so mad.
My sole concern is about growing your business, about growing Young Living and making sure we're getting more oils in homes. So
he's scary. Did you see the change in his personality as he was saying that, oh, we have it under control, and then you heard the change in the tone of his voice? Heck no. Heck no. No, sir.
I think we all kind of know this is the way today is going to work. This video that I'm sharing with you right now is probably going to be leaked, and there will probably be screenshots of this video will be shared with a lot of baseless rumors and accusations and outlandish claims. In none of the above, do you have a choice? That's going to happen, right? You're not doing the one leaking it. Well, one of you is, but most of you are not. And almost everybody else is not. And you're not the one who's spreading the slander. You don't have any choice in the matter. What we do get to choose, though, however, is once that's happened, what we do with it. And I have a phrase I like to say oftentimes, which is where focus goes, energy flows. And so we can.
Why don't you focus on telling your brand partners the truth? Why don't you focus on integrity and ethics? Why don't you focus on not covering up the history of the founder of your company? Why don't you focus on actually, I don't know, producing a product that isn't 3, 4, 5 times the market value of an essential oil of similar quality? I mean, that seems like it'd be productive. That does.
You can feed it by sharing the screenshots with your team, your peer group of leaders, talking about how outlandish and offensive it is, because it is. I mean, if you read it, it's so offensive. I've read some things that have personally offended me, not for my sake, but for families of people I care about. But that said, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for liars. I don't have time for people who are going to make things up. And your time is so.
Is he talking about Melissa Truitt? Because here's how that went down. Her upline in Modere got sued by Young Living. So Madison Vining was sued by Young Living, and that, I think, wrapped up, or something happened in December. And then in February, Some Diamonds received a book, and I personally received the newsletter where Mary Young told us to buy the book that was sent out, that was about to be published. And it was written or co-written by a Royal Crown Diamond. And Young Living said, oh, we didn't send this out. It wasn't us. We didn't give your address out. And the person who had received it was a former Young Living brand partner. I don't know if this is associated with it, but he's talking about lying. Their PR team dropped the ball in that situation. And then everyone in the groups were gaslit, saying, oh, the PR statement was perfectly spoken and said they answered all your questions, even though you see in the drop down from this situation back in February, question, response, gaslight. And then in my own group, they said, you don't need to know who is creating this issue. They're just a former brand partner and they are disgruntled and they're trying to recruit people into Modere. Give me a break. So that has been leading into people leaving too, but it's very complicated. There's a long trail and everything is like legally connected. And I know that he's probably talking about other stuff, but yeah. And I'm sure it's the Melissa Truitt is a Modere and so are the Vining. And then there's other people that have left. Yes, you're right, Mommy. She could be one. Juliana too. I know she posted that this guy blocked her today, and considering Juliana had access to all those documents like the transcript. Okay. The point of contention I had with the book, not that I don't want to get sidetracked, which, hello, it's DC, we get sidetracked and we have technical difficulties, but Young Living, the way they handled the situation, Mary Young wrote the foreword in the book, and then Young Living's PR team came out and said they had no association with the book and it wasn't tied with the company at all, even though Mary Young wrote the foreword and encouraged people in the newsletters that people received the year before in the packages that you get with your monthly order to buy the book. So is it reasonable for someone to think it's connected? I think so. And they did send it to all the diamonds. God dang it. So they're just being slimy. And this guy freaking, he's mad. You can tell. He says, oh, I don't care. Look at it. You saw the energy change. If the main person does afford, it's associated connected. Yes. And they use company funds to print the newsletters that go out with every single monthly order. And in that company printed newsletter that Mary Young writes, it had an entire paragraph encouraging us to buy the book when it published. Give me a break.
So valuable. And feeding drama is not an income producing activity. Worrying about drama is not an income producing activities. So what I would recommend is block or unfollow these accounts if you haven't already. Ask your team to do the same. When people send you screenshots, say send it to compliance and let's go talk to people about oils. That is an income producing activity. That is our mission. And I want to stay focused on that. I don't want to let someone else's negativity take away from you, your income, your family, your time, your business. They're not worth it. So please, please don't let them do that. Don't let them take that. The only power they get is the power you give and the time that you give it. So I ran into Brooke Christen this morning, one of our amazing crown diamonds and one of our fastest growing businesses. We were just walking the streets of Spokane, and
that's my former upline, Brooke Christen. That's the person who gaslit everybody in the group. Oh my God. What the hell? Oh my God.
And just ran into her, and I asked her opinion on it, and her response to me was, I don't know anything about it. I don't have time for it. And I think we'd all do very well to follow Brooke's example. We just have much bigger things to do. So I appreciate all of your concern. But again, I just want to remind all of you, we've got a much bigger mission to worry about. And just because somebody doesn't agree with it or doesn't understand it or wants to spread rumors and lies about it doesn't mean that we still don't have really important work to do. And I'm really excited about that side of our business. That's what fuels my passion, not drama. So that said, I want to jump into the balance of our call. We have a couple of gentlemen that I'm really excited to introduce to you. These two men speak.
It is an absolute lie that Brooke Christen has no idea what's going on. It's an absolute lie. It's an absolute lie. It is an absolute lie. I'm so mad right now.
With authority and also conviction about our seed to seal commitment to quality. And I'm speaking of Brad Chatterley, our director of product portfolio for essential oils. Brad in the town hall a couple of weeks ago, Brad, I think.
What the flippity flop? Why do we have to continue? And I'm not trying to be a sexist. Why are women bringing in the vast majority of your funds into Young Living? And every single time that I am on one of these calls, because I was still on the executive training calls, not executive like the C-suite, but the rank that I was in. And it's always run by dudes. I mean, if you truly see women as valuable, why aren't they leading these calls? Why aren't they in positions of influence? I've just got questions.
Leading up to convention, you shared one of the best summaries of what seed to seal really means. It was incredible. So really excited to have you on this call. Also very jealous of that incredibly luxuriant head of hair that you have. You're a beautiful, beautiful man. And also Corey Howden. So another gentleman with a great head of hair and beard. Look at some handsome gentlemen I'm bringing to you today. So great.
As if women would only be interested in watching a Zoom call because of how people look. Give me a break, you misogynist pig. What the flippity flop? And I will say, I understand that people have different perspectives about women. I grew up in a household where my dad did not make me feel a negative way about being a female. So it makes me very angry to bump up with these ideas that are floating around and getting perpetuated by these SOBs. Give me a break.
Great to have Corey with us. He's our executive director of essential oil supply. He's also been running our Northern Lights farm and he's really grown up with Young Living. I think, Corey, you probably had essential oils in your home from almost day one. Here, okay? So Corey and his family are deep oilers, have strong passion for our products, for Seed to Seal, and for Young Living. So Brad, Corey, great to have you with us. And I'm going to step out of your way and let you kind of talk a little bit about Seed to Seal, why it's important, what sets us apart. So gentlemen, time is yours.
Thank you, Ben. Really excited to be here and excited to be here and kind of share this moment with Corey. Corey and I have known each other for a couple of years. We spent 6 hours in the car together, driving to an industrial hemp farm. That's what they call it. a hemp farm in northern Canada and got to know each other very well. And so I'm glad to be here with him. I actually spent 6.5 years on the sourcing side for essential oils. And what sourcing means, basically, it's just how we select the suppliers that we're working with for essential oils. And so I'm very passionate about where our oils come from, about essential oil quality, and was on that side of the business about the oils coming in to the company. And now I've taken a role as the portfolio director for essential oils, the finished goods side. So as it goes out the door to you guys, that's what I'm over now. And Corey, when you want to say a few things about yourself.
So I guess I've been using essential oils for well over 20 years, Young Living essential oils, and worked and helped Gary build the Northern Lights farm, managed it up until a couple of years ago when it started transitioning into working with sort of the broader essential oil and all.
Now about 𝐓𝐇𝐎𝐔𝐆𝐇𝐓𝅅𝐔𝐋, when they don't even make most of their oils, they are shipped in. Yeah, I think the biggest producing, I mean, whatever they have here, they have a lavender farm. I know that my upline and my girl I signed up with and my direct upline, they went to the lavender farm. I don't know if they actually what they actually produce, but they have too many oils to actually produce them here in the United States, and they've gotten in trouble before by having outsourcing contaminate their oils. Look up cinnamon bark and Young Living. You can Google it and you're gonna see a lot of different information. There's someone who did the testing and they have the reports, and it's not good. Also got in trouble for importing endangered species. What? Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna press play.
All of our farms, partner farms, and now with all of our suppliers.
Hi, Don.
And
I think that I'm unlisted, right? Still trying to figure out what I woke up to. Okay, sorry, we have an outdoor cat. My dog wants me to let it in. This is a very special video. We may be turning it private after we have been streaming. Mombi has the best resources for videos that have never seen the public light of day, and she has graciously given us a treat tonight. And she's letting us watch one of the diamond chat calls, and these we just listened to. What is his name? Ben Riley? Is that the main dude? Tell us that he does not even care that things are getting leaked, and they're tracking down who the leaker is, and his energy changed from chill to hyper-focused and slightly angry, proceeded to lie about some things, and then said he ran into my former... She's 3 levels up from me, but she was the girl I signed up with, directly signed up with her, and her name's Brooke Christen. And she has one of the fastest growing teams in Young Living, and she uses her main home decor account on Instagram to warm up their market, and that is how she is recruiting so many people. In 2019 and 2020, she was recruiting upwards of 500 people a month by herself. And at the time, before they changed the compensation, she was getting $50 a person to sign them up. So if you multiply 50 times 500, that's a chunk. And then she's additionally making commission off of her downline, and then she's making additional commission off of silvers on her team and other people. Yeah, a month. Yeah, so when they're saying that she has one of the fastest growing teams, she does. And I know that because I was in the group, and my upline, the girl I signed up with, was really good friends with Brooke's former best friend, Rachel. And Rachel used to do all the back end stuff on Brooke's blog for her and knew recruiting numbers. And we also saw recruiting numbers when they were doing competitions and stuff. When you think like, oh, maybe Young Living is dying off, at least on Brooke's team, it's not. She is a force to be reckoned with, but she absolutely knew what was going on with that book.
Brad, I think it's fair to say the word sourcing also includes all of our essential oils, our farms, our corporate farms, partner farms, all the relationships that were established by Gary long before either one of us. And so managing all of those relationships to ensure quality is one of my passions. And I want to make sure that the oils that I used all my life maintain at minimum that.
Yeah, we are going to keep this unlisted. I need to talk to Mombi if we need to put a password on this. What I can do is I can download it and put it somewhere with a password because I do not want it getting back to Young Living. I trust you all. I just don't trust Young Living. So I want to make sure that if I do, maybe I'll put it on private and I'll give people access to that private link if I can, or a password, and then I'll give you all the password.
Quality or get better.
Great. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen and then I'm going to turn off my video so you can focus on what you're seeing, or maybe I won't turn it off if I can't figure out how. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I want to talk about our essential oil supply chain. And part of the reason that I want to do this,
I have to take care of my dog. I'm going to let it play for a little bit.
This is because I want to provide some bigger picture context to what we do at Young Living to get the quality essential oils that we provide to you guys. And to do that, just a little bit of history that a lot of you probably already know. For thousands of years, people have used essential oils. Cultures have used them as medicines, perfumes, and rituals in daily life. It's interesting that even thousands of years ago, they played an important part in international trade. So essential oils and other aromatic products and medicinal plants went along the Silk Road. They traveled from places like China and the Middle East to what's now Europe. They were an important part in international trade, and they still are today. So today, essential oils are still produced in large volumes, though mainly for flavor and fragrance purposes. And before I started working here at Young Living, I was not aware of the flavor and fragrance industry. But there is a large network of essential oil producers and other value-add companies that are part of this global flavor and fragrance industry. And for that industry, sometimes essential oils are used in their pure form, but more often they're rectified, broken down into individual components. So think of menthol for mint, or they're standardized. So getting the small amount of quality essential oils that are out there is hard. So the flavor and fragrance industry is relatively large. They've published numbers that say they use around 105,000 metric tons of essential oils annually. So metric ton is 1,000 kilos, 105,000 metric tons. Now, for a long time, they were pretty much the only ones working with essential oils until someone came along named Gary Young and really started this revolution in using essential oils for health and wellness.
This dude is just
and so what Gary did was disrupt a bit what this larger industry was doing with essential oils. Now, most of what they use in the flavor and fragrance industry are actually synthetic chemicals derived from petrochemicals, derived from petroleum.
Not every single one. Give me a break.
Oil products. And so essential oils are a small part of what they do. And we've really come in and disrupted that for them. So what we're doing in using essential oils for wellness, we use probably as a whole industry, maybe a few thousand metric tons of essential oils compared to the 100,000 metric tons the flavor and fragrance industry uses. However,
dude,
that number seems really big, 105,000 metric tons. It seems like there's lots of oils out there. But the truth is the amount of quality essential oils out there is very, very small.
Give me a break. Give me a break. What about plant therapy? What about I know we're not talking MLMs, but we got doTERRA. Where are they getting their quality essential oils from? There's a lot of essential oils out there.
It has been small. This is the challenge that we have, getting this amount of quality essential oils that we need for our business. It's hard work. It's not easy to do. And we are sometimes in competition with now a lot of other companies that are using essential oils, the broader flavor and fragrance industry. And this is the context that Gary found when he started trying to get high quality essential oils. This is the kind of water faded into.
Sorry, Lynn. Listen to this real quick. Essential Oils Company sentenced for Lacey Act and Endangered Species Act violations to pay $760,000 in fines, forfeiture, and community service, and to implement a comprehensive compliance plan. The Department of Justice announced today that Young Living Essential Oils LC, the company headquartered in Lehi, Utah, pled guilty in federal court to federal misdemeanor charges regarding its illegal trafficking of rosewood oil and spikenard oil in violation of the Lacey Act and the Endangered Species Act. Wow. Up
against today still. It's what he was up against, and it still requires a lot of work. So I want to give you an example of how this plays out, this fight for quality essential oils,
Bergamot.
or the challenge of quality essential oils. Bergamot, one of my favorite oils. It's a beautiful, beautiful oil. It's been produced for a long, long time for fragrance usage. In Italy, where bergamot's produced, their production numbers say that it's maybe 150 metric tons of bergamot essential oil produced in a good year. Sometimes it's a lot less than that. But their exports recently of essential oil were 800 metric tons. How do you export 800 metric tons of a product that you only produced 150 metric tons of? Well, there's a lot of adulteration. And how do we handle this as a company? Well, this is a picture taken by us at the facility we work with in Italy. So we go there. We work with the people who are producing it. We see what they're doing. I once had a sales guy come and visit us from a company, and he'd been a chemist for one of these what we'll call brokers. I'll talk to you about these in a minute. And he said, when I was a chemist, I had all of the individual components, main components of lime oil out on my desk in bottles, broken down into these individual components. And I would have a spec for a company for the lime oil that they wanted. And I would take these individual components and mix them to create a lime oil that met the spec for the company. That's how it was done. That's how it's still done in a lot of places and for a lot of companies. And what's kind of frightening about that is that this was still considered a natural lime oil. There
are important documents proving this isn't true. Young Living, what the flippity flop are you doing?
All of the individual components he was mixing were derived from natural places. And so this could be sold as a natural lime oil.
High odds.
This is still what happens and one of the challenges that we run into. So I say that our success...
I honestly, because they are trying to keep the information control so tight, Crystal, that how the information is disseminated from these top crown and royal crown diamonds and diamonds to their median to lower levels through these Facebook groups, they will create these posts and say like, oh, I just heard this from corporate. I just learned this from so-and-so's mouth. And they tell you. And so all these people think this is correct information. They don't think about it. They don't check it. And then they go and spread it to their customers. They go spread it on social media. They go spread it to their own brand partners. Them talking to the diamonds and crown diamonds and royal crown diamonds, keeping that tight really influences and spreads bad information. And then when you ask questions, you're gaslit. Momby's coming through with some stuff. Can I read these out loud, Momby? Okay, is it okay if I read these really quickly? Okay, this is Ashley McLaughlin, and this is Spin. So she says, critical thinking is the analysis of available facts, evidence, observations, and arguments to form a judgment. And she quoted that from somewhere, but she didn't cite it. That means you don't just share, believe, support, spread, or blindly follow anything and everything that you see, hear, or watch on the internet, news, television, the like. There's some people on the interwebs that are spouting out a lot of half-truths and causing a lot of drama. If you don't use Young Living, you can just scroll on by, but I personally don't enjoy watching lies spread and lies believed by those close to me. So one of those lies or half-truths is that Young Living imports their oils and imports them from the same people as multiple different companies. Now, here's what you need to listen to really hard and clear. I'm not here to debunk where Young Living gets their oils from. I'm here to show that the general population doesn't put time and energy into searching, which is why these half-truths can spread like wildfire. So apparently, you can go to importyeti.com and search any company to see who their top suppliers and importers are. Okay, cool. And the lie that's just being spread, or half-truth, is that Young Living imports their oils and such from the same place as other companies. And you can see that by going to this website, because they share suppliers with other companies, so that could be true or look true if you were just doing a quick glance. However, if you actually take the time to really look and research what it is that they're importing and who exactly is supplying to them, it is plastic parts, diffusers, packaging materials, and printing materials. So the half-truth goes like this. Young Living is lying because, look, they share suppliers with other companies, so why can they say they have better oils than other people? Full truth goes like this. One of the Young Living top suppliers is Booze and Life, a diffuser company that provides diffusers to lots and lots of different companies, including doTERRA and the like. Cool. We love our diffuser, but we also buy our diffusers from Amazon too. That's awesome. I'm glad to know that Booze and Life is a reputable diffuser company. Took me about 15 minutes to find the whole truth. Instead of watching an Instagram story or reading the comments on a Facebook post to only see the narrative that someone wanted to share. Screenshots attached because, well, I've got receipts. Oh, also, I have the screenshots and the Google searches of what all those other suppliers are. But to save myself time, you've got a plastic supplier that's housed in Taiwan, a plastic dropper supplier, you've got a plastic supplier that's housed in Taiwan, a plastic dropper supplier housed in Germany, and then a printing company located in China. Feel free to fact check me. It's what critical thinking is all about. And then she has import Yeti documents that she screenshot. Thing is, that trial transcript from the doTERRA v. Young Living case, there is testimony saying the same thing. The majority of their oils are not from their own farms, but imported from oil suppliers. Yeah, we're going to read those. We're going to read those on live. We just need to, I'm just trying to figure out a time. So again, it's twisty. It is very twisty. Gosh darn it, Young Living.
Gary's success. Your success is our blessing and it's our challenge. The reason that you can go into the grocery store and find essential oils, the reason you can find lotions that say made with essential oils, the reason you can find air fresheners where they call out essential oils is because of Gary Young. That didn't happen 15 years ago. But it's a challenge then, right? Because these people are all trying to get essential oils and they're all trying to say they have the same quality essential oils. But Gary did this. It's amazing what he created. Young Living did this and you did this. But now more people than ever are questioning where their essential oils come from. They're questioning
because y'all screwed the flippity flop up. Young Living did. You behaved your way into this problem and you're not even answering the questions correctly. Are you serious? Way to give Gary Young too much credit. Yikes. Yeah, I'd give more credit to the people who've been selling the oils for 25 plus years. Yeah, I mean, he did build an empire, and when he passed away, it has certainly fallen off.
Quality of the oils. But even that is kind of amazing to think about. They only know to question it and the right questions to ask.
Oh yeah, just saying that to show there's multiple forms of evidence from years apart from people who were deeply involved with Young Living and went to doTERRA showing use of oil suppliers. It's going to be wild. That lawsuit is going to be wild. Same oil suppliers as doTERRA. You don't say, Mommy. You don't say.
Because of Gary. They only know how to ask those questions because of what we have done as a company. So I want to talk a little bit about where real...
There's no way this is their brand font. You know, I know because I've seen their brand font on their website. It doesn't matter.
Essential oils come from.
DC.
So who is making real essential oils? You often, you can think of our farms that we own at Young Living. If you've ever been to the lavender farms, you see these giant fields of lavender. Most essential oil crops aren't produced in those large volumes. Most of them are farmed or wild collected in developing countries by a large number of individuals and families on a very small scale. So most farming is done by what's called smallholder farmers, and they're defined as having 2 hectares or less of land. Some exceptions to this are things like lavender, citrus crops, mint production in the US, where there are much larger farms. But that's not actually how most essential oils in the world are produced by these small families and individuals. And it's interesting to note that around 25% of Young Living's oils are wild collected. So this is a picture of when I was in Morocco in 2018, and these women had just been out in these hot, dusty foothills that you can see in the background collecting myrtle. So here's another example, Indian jasmine. This is some information from an industry publication. So there's around 16,000 acres of jasmine in production in India right now, and about 20,000 farmers involved in that. So that means each farmer has an average of a half to 1 acre. And usually this is a family affair, so you get the whole family working, the 4 to 5 people in a family. So they estimate there are around 80,000 to 100,000 people involved in just the picking activity for jasmine in India. Now, we work with a partner in India that has over 800 farmers that they work with. 800 farmers. So when you start to think of the scope that's required, even for a small volume product like jasmine, there's not a lot of jasmine produced in the world. There's a massive amount of people involved, work involved in managing this. So how do we connect with people that are making real oil? In most essential oil producing markets, for most essential oils, you have the level of the grower or the collector. Most of these people don't have the experience to or the capability to market and export to international customers. Some of them have their own distillation capabilities, others of them don't. And often these people they don't speak English, they don't have access to good lines of credit. And so there's another layer that gets built up to meet those needs. And I call this, is just Brad's terminology, in-country brokers. And what they do is they aggregate, like our partner in India, they aggregate all those small volumes from the individual growers. Sometimes these brokers have their own farms. Sometimes they have their own extraction distillation capabilities. And sometimes they don't. Sometimes they compete with each other for products coming from the growers. On top of that, you have another layer, what I, in Brad's terminology, call international brokers. These brokers are ones that work with in-country suppliers from all over the world. And so you can go to an international broker and they might have a portfolio of, 150 essential oils from all over the world.
He admits it's not their own farms. Most oils are wild collected, then says 25% is wild collected. Yeah.
A lot of these guys are the ones that feed into the flavor and fragrance industry. They also buy and sell oil to each other. And so it can change hands quite a few times before it goes to the customer from this level. And from what I have seen, this is the level that most companies that are selling essential oils for wellness, just in my own experience, this is the level that they are buying from.
In his own experience, he's worked for Young Living for his entire career. What experience do you have in terms of knowing what other people are buying from?
On top of that, you have then these very large flavor and fragrance companies who are throughout this supply chain. You have contract manufacturers who are buying oils to put into their products that you go and see in the grocery stores. And I don't know if you guys know this. We work with a lot of contract manufacturers for some of our products beyond just the.
You can't even keep your customer. You can't even keep your own product supplied. So what are you talking about? Do y'all know how many times a product runs out on the Young Living website? A lot. So much so that it's not dependable to think that if you need something, you for sure know it's going to be there on the website. And you know what the reasoning is that we're told by other brand partners who are above us? They are so committed to quality that they would never rush something. So sometimes we run out because we don't compromise. That's what we're told. That's what I was told. What? So they're saying they have enough product to sell to other people? Give me a break. Give me a break.
like our lotions and things like that. We provide all of the essential oil to those contract manufacturers. They don't go out and procure that oil themselves. It's all Young Living essential oil. When you start thinking of the scale of this for all of the products that we have, or the fact that we get essential oils from around 40 different countries, that at the grower level, many of these people don't speak English because there's not good credit there. Cash payments, upfront payments are the norm. We work with people often at this in-country broker level because they provide an important service, but we always have transparency back to the growers. That's how I have the pictures that I'm able
it's because
to
they
show
have to
you
ship it from other countries in bulk orders. Yep.
Because even when we're working at that level, we go back to the grower level. Now, what are Young Living's sources of oil?
He's a naturopathic
read a while
doctor.
back, Aromatherapy, The Essential Beginning by Gary. He published this in 1996, and I thought it was interesting that he said, in addition to the oil we produce, Young Living purchases tens of thousands of dollars in oil volume per month. By 1997, with our current growth rate, we'll be purchasing over $1 million in oil volume yearly. So I can tell you it's a lot more than that now, much, much bigger. We've always purchased essential oil. From the beginning, Gary was transparent about that. So we have our corporate farms.
Well, you're not transparent about it now. Guess what we're told in our little Zoom trainings? That Young Living produces all of their oils. That we don't buy oils from anyone. And then we were told just recently, maybe in 2020, that sometimes we do outsource. But that is not widely known. And that's not what we're widely taught either.
We have our partner farms, but we also have people we work with that we're purchasing oil from. That's never been something that Gary tried to hide. But here's the thing to remember about that. It all comes from plants. It all comes from...
He just said, well, that's not something Gary tried to hide. He tried to hide a lot of other stuff. And even if he didn't try to hide that, the people who were executing on his plan were trying to hide it.
Plants grown in the earth. That's what we go back to. So how do we do that? Well, Gary traveled all over the world, and we still travel all over the world. And this supply is now overseen by Corey and his team, but multiple departments throughout the company work on essential oil quality. You have Corey's team, you have...
This whole live was in reaction to the ex-Young Living Modere reps posting the import Yeti evidence. This is what diamonds are supposed to teach their downline. Well, they don't. I will tell you right now, they do not. Brooke never taught us this. My upline never taught me this. That's twice now he said they don't speak English. Yeah, dude, other countries don't speak English. Yep.
The farm teams, you have our research and development teams, the trade compliance teams. It is a concerted effort across multiple disciplines because that's the amount of work that it takes to do this right. And Young Living has unique resources and expertise. And this is what Seed to Seal is. It is our unique resources and expertise that we employ to get you the highest quality essential oils available. We work very hard to establish these transparent supply chains back to the grower level. We utilize our agriculture and distillation expertise that we have developed at our own farms and distilleries.
No, this is new because of the haters exposing them. This is damage control and information control. Dave, what up? Dave, Mombi gave us a never to be seen by the general public Zoom call from Young Living Diamonds. Dave, you're late. So we're going to have to figure out how to keep this. This is unlisted, and we're going to either turn it private or put a password on it for our Discord because we do not want to get slapped by Young Living.
And we've invested heavily in testing and research capabilities.
No, you didn't miss it. We're still listening to the. Don't worry. We'll figure it out how to. We'll figure out how to let you watch it if you want to.
In state-of-the-art equipment, and all of this came from Gary because that large flavor and fragrance industry that I spoke about before. What's important to them is having a standardized product and having a product that is low cost. And so when Gary started to try to get quality essential oils, that's what he was running into over and over again.
That's
I don't really care about the lowest cost. I don't really care about standardization. What I care about is a natural quality product.
Really?
And that actually disrupted their way of doing business. And some of those companies don't like us because we've disrupted their way of doing business. Gary had to figure out how to get quality natural oils from that context. And this is how he did it. And this is how we
had a lot of technical difficulties. We did fix the clicking when I'm gaming behind the screen. Mombi just gave us the surprise of a lifetime.
Still do it.
Okay.
I wanted to address just some specific concerns that I've heard.
I don't know where to
we purchase oils from all over the world. Sometimes I've heard people question specific locations. Why do they buy from Egypt? Why do they buy from India? We buy where the best products are produced. We buy from Egypt because that's where some of the world's best coriander, geranium, and other essential oils are produced. That's why we buy there. So if we're buying from somewhere, it's because they are really good at what they do. And even though we do all of this work and we put all of these resources and all of this effort into our supply chain and ensuring quality, there are times we have non-conformances. And that's actually part of the work that we do. Nothing is perfect. That's why we have a QA team, a quality assurance team that is constantly testing our oils, every single batch that comes in. And we fail oils regularly. We fail them because we don't compromise on.
Why didn't they fail that batch that they got in trouble for and they got fined over? Oh, because they were illegally importing whatever of that rosewood stuff. Sentence for Lacey Act and Endangered Species Act violations to pay for rosewood and spikenard oil. Dadgum.
On quality. But if everything was perfect all the time, that team would have nothing to do. So there is lots of work to be done in this area, and they are kind of the backstop, all of that. Also, I've heard this, we don't ship essential oils from any supplier to a Young Living farm to say that it comes from a Young Living farm.
Bullshit.
I've never seen that happen in the time that I have been at the company for over 7 years. I don't think that has ever happened.
I don't think that's ever happened. Buddy, you need to know if that has happened. Are you freaking kidding me? Did you just hear what he said? I don't think that's ever happened. Literally the worst answer he could have given.
That's just not what we do.
That's just not what we do.
And I also wanted to address this concept of, well, we created our own standard.
You did.
Well, there are very few existing standards for essential oils.
Oh my God. Okay, you want a source, buddy? You want a freaking source? You know what book is taught to be purchased by all brand partners? The Essential Oils Desk Reference. You know what it said? Young Living has created their own standard. It's in some of the first pages in this book. Why are you just gaslighting us at this point? I'm mad.
One of them is ISO. Some of you may have heard of that. There are ISO standards for some oils, and that stands for the International Organization for Standardization.
It's probably definitely
and I think the name says
never happened, maybe.
ISO is a good organization. We actually love to work with contract manufacturers who are ISO certified for their quality and manufacturing processes. They're a good organization, but it doesn't work for everything. So they say ISO standards are internationally agreed by experts. Well, what experts for essential oils? The experts for essential oils are the experts from the flavor and fragrance industry. And what they are trying to do is establish a standardized product. And Gary, if you ever heard him talk, we want natural products, and in natural products, you have variation. So when there is no satisfactory existing standard, you have to create your own. What else can you do? I mean, rather than knocking this, I think we should be respecting the immense effort that Gary put into his research and his learning.
He doesn't get any respect from me. Not after what he's done to kids, not after performing surgery without a medical license, not after manipulating people and using fear of diseases to prey on them for financial gain. Hell no. That's a hell no for me. No respect for Gary.
To know how we can get the highest quality essential oils. And the standard Gary created also is holistic. rather than simply looking at a list of oil constituents and saying, well, it needs to have X amount of, menthofurans if it's a good peppermint oil. He looked at the whole picture, the whole agricultural and production process, because he knew if you grew a plant well but distilled it poorly, you'd have an inferior product. If you stored a high quality oil poorly, it would degrade. So he knew that it had to touch on the whole production process. And again, he had to create that because it doesn't exist in the industry. And then finally, I just want to end with the why. Sometimes I think we focus a bit too much on the what and not enough on the why. Why do we do this? Why do we do what we do? And Gary actually tried using essential oils in the 80s, and they didn't work for him. Mary's talked about this, when someone came and said, hey, you should look into essential oils. He said, I've done that and not impressed. But he learned that he'd been using poor quality oils. And when he brought back his first 13 oils from Europe, he was very impressed with the results and that's when he saw, okay, high quality oils work, low quality oils don't. And this is the why. It's still what motivates us. You need quality oils. The world needs quality oils. The results of quality oils speak for themselves. And so that's the big picture that motivates why we do all of this.
What he just said, that Gary Young tried essential oils and they didn't work for him, directly contradicts the healing story of Gary Young healing his back when he was in an accident and he healed himself with essential oils. That literally just contradicted that story that's out there because he hurt his back before the 80s. Gosh, dang it. I love that y'all are aware of this. Savannah has done incredible videos on Gary Young, Donald Gary Young. So if you see D Gary Young, it's not a shortening of Dr. Gary Young. It's Donald Gary Young. Literally, damn it, Carl. Gosh, dang it. I don't think this guy has a girl understanding of what quality and consistency means in terms of producing products. And the thing is, my friend, she has her PhD in bioinformatics, and she did her dissertation on essential oils on ex vivo skin something or other. I don't know all the terms. I'm not a scientist. And she did them with Young Living essential oils. So she has the tracking data for the actual chemical makeup of each oil in the batches and then tracked it for her dissertation. She works for a organic farm now. So it's not, I think some of their oils are good. I think that their whole background, the cover up, the misinformation, the information control, the behavior control, their PR team just literally doing the absolute worst job on the planet, in my opinion, for answering people's questions and keeping the company transparent for the general public. It's just a cluster. It's a cluster. I don't know what this dude is called. Oh, not good girl. The 3 oils that actually make at their farms for show. Those ones are good. Good point. And I don't remember which one she used. She used one the whole time? I don't remember. But again, it's different when you have a scientist testing the actual chemical makeup of every oiled batch that comes in and you're tracking your dissertation for 3 years. So it's like, I don't trust Young Living as far as I can throw them. And I can't throw them, so I don't trust them at all.
So,
literally, why did your marketing department not make you a PowerPoint?
Thank you for giving me some time to talk about.
Also, another NLP technique is I'm sure this guy probably naturally talks slow. Talking slow when you're trying to communicate something and talking in that kind of hypnotic kind of rhythm, it helps people accept what they're saying. I mean, I call BS on him, but I am not a big fan of the presentation. I'm not a big fan of what he said. I'm not a big fan of how he delivered it. I freaking hate his PowerPoint. Ugh. Wait, was the thank you part of the PowerPoint? Jokes aside, it's not that the oils are bad, it's that they aren't making them themselves. And yes, and it's the deception that's going into all this marketing and all of these brand partners spreading misinformation because they're being told things that are not true.
About this, Corey, I don't know if you have anything you want to add from your side.
Well, I think it's good that people understand the who and who's responsible for where we're going and where we've been.
Young Living is responsible for where they've gone and where they're going. Young Living's responsible. And they have behaved their way into this issue and this problem. And the Crown Diamonds and the Royal Crown Diamonds, who are aware of the issues going on and they perpetuate the misinformation, they are somewhat responsible in this. They are. And
I think, Brad, the work that you've done and the work that we've done together and the work that I'm
okay. I was confused. The guy on the left has only been there for 7 years. The guy on the right's been there for 20 years. Got it.
Seed to Seal is our guide. It's our guiding light. And that may be a standard completely in-house and completely created by Gary, but it's by far the best standard.
Exactly. Don't say you're the best. Don't say you make the majority or all if you're all of your oils. Don't say your quality control is better when you buy from the same suppliers as everyone else. Bull.
Standard in the world. And like Gary used to always tell us, in Seed to Seal, there's no separation. And so from what Mother Nature provides to the help that we can get from that
blink
product,
rate is wild.
Every step has to be honored. And Seed to Seal is our commitment to honor all of those steps. The communities, the employees, the land, the plant, the seed, the distillation, how we store and handle that material. Everything has to be honored to maintain that energy, to maintain the quality, to maintain the ability to help. And so we're going to continue to do that with our hearts and souls. And
no, not your hearts and souls. With verified data, with transparent business practices, with transparent production practices. Leave your heart and your soul at home and bring the facts to work with you. Bring your logical mind to work with you. I don't want to hear about heart and soul one more time, and I love feelings. Seed to Seal was originally that they made it from Seed to Seal. Yeah. That's all in this book I have. And that's what we're told. This book is not an official book of Young Living, even though I think the printing company was owned by Young Living, and we were told to get it. And then we were told to use it to prescribe oils for any ailments we had for our family. Yep. Now it means they follow it from Seed to Seal. Yep.
I think maybe this isn't really public, but as Ben said earlier, everything will become public from this call probably. But so part of my team is also Nicholas Landell and Chris Packer. And so we're moving a lot of our expertise that were built and developed on our own farms to really work with the rest of our farmers, our producers, our growers, to make sure that we can be very, very transparent and hold up that standard that was created. And it's amazing to me the amount of work that was put in before I was involved with Young Living on the business.
This isn't quite public because y'all who are watching from the Discord, this is only staying with our little Discord lockdown crew because Mombi actually takes down MLMs. That's what she does behind the scenes. And she creates all these files and digital electronic document trails. And then she submits them to the governing bodies who need it to start processes to try to take these people down. So the fact that she gave this to us to watch is like a gift. It's a gift with a little bow on, a huge bow on top. The kind of bow you'd see on a Monate car reveal for whatever their car program. A huge bow, a gift. And so we are either going to turn it public and give you a password to watch it, or we're going to turn it public and whoever watched it today, that's it.
Business side. But, Gary done so much work. And I have a hard time understanding how one person done that amount of work. So hopefully we can, with a team, carry that on.
There we go. Sorry, guys.
And hopefully improve it. That's our goal.
We are not worthy, seriously.
Absolutely.
Oh, dang it.
Thank you, Corey.
Ben, get out of here.
All right. Well said, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Rave reviews in the comments. I'm not sure if you've seen them, but we've had requests for you to join.
You don't give a about the comments. You know why? They never answer any comments in any of the calls.
That's for our Win the Week. We do every Monday morning. And I'll just plug that really quickly. It's a great way to kick off your week. It's a great way to start your kick them off with purpose on a Monday morning, because I know you're all business owners and entrepreneurs. You decide when you work and how you work. And so giving us a reason to kick off our week with purpose, I think is really important. And so I think Brad, Corey, will have you join us for future Win the Week and share more about Seed to Seal. All the diamonds here want to make sure that we're sharing more of this information. Powerful stuff. And just a reminder that we have the high ground here. And one of the things I think is really important about the fact that we have our own farms and we distill ourselves is we know the processes. And for better and worse, we grew so quickly, we can't feasibly grow all of the botanicals that go into our oils. We've sold, I think, $250 million or 250 million bottles of essential oils in the last decade alone. And so there's so much that goes into that. Obviously, it's a huge demand.
Is it actual sales, or are you also including the number that you give away every month when people buy a certain amount of product? Is that only the selling amount? This dude makes me so mad. Mommy said, I wish I could show you guys everything, but we keep it hush hush so not to endanger informants' anonymity. And again, doing things behind the scenes and not getting like public attention because you're trying to make significant inroads to take down a company. I mean, Mommy does a ton of work behind the scenes that never like gets praised in public, if that makes sense. So definitely a gift that we even got to see this, and she literally works so hard and it's incredible.
And a huge movement, and we have a lot of customers who depend on our products. But the fact that we know the technology, we started as farmers and distillers, means that we ask the questions no one else does. We have technology no one else does. And we also, I think, have innovation that no one else can bring. And there's more to come on that. I'm really excited to share with you moving forward. But thank you once again, Brad and Corey, for joining us and talking about Seed to Seal, our oils, our sourcing practices, and everything else. I'm obviously really proud. And you said we need the best quality oils. My family needs the best quality oils. That's why we will forever buy Young Living. And that's one of the many reasons why we as a business have had 28 years of lasting power and have 28 years and more ahead of us because of the quality of these products. I know I'm using them until I die. So I'm definitely—
You're also getting compensated to use them, but I mean, that's beside the point.
Customer for life. Okay, so I did tease you. I told you that we had an exciting announcement here, and you're the first to see this. So I'm really excited to introduce you to whom I'm calling
Mombi. Dave is the kind of the reigning king of the Discord and the live chat, and he gives out donuts and potatoes, but potatoes are bad. I don't know. I think potatoes are good, but there's a running there's a running count of donuts and potatoes and stuff. So that's a good thing that he just gave you donuts.
Our face of science and research. I'm speaking of a gentleman named Dr. Mark Bartlett. He's our new Executive Vice President of Science and Product Development. You know that science is in our nature. This is who we are. Gary was a farmer. He was also a scientist. He loved research. He loved learning.
He wasn't a scientist. He wasn't a farmer. What?
Love botanicals, especially, obviously loved essential oils. Mark comes to us with a stellar resume. So let me read a little bit about his background. He has a Bachelor of Science in Biochemistry and Organic Chemistry from the Australian National University. He has a PhD in Immunology and Cell Biology from the John Curtin School of Medical Research, both those based in Canberra, two of the best research-based institutions in Australia. He is an Aussie, so he's got a charming Australian accent. He also was a postdoctoral visiting fellow of the National Cancer Institute, National Institutes of Health, and Fogarty Institute. I believe, Mark, you can explain a little bit more there, and has areas of expertise that are very broad and very relevant to us. He's done a lot of research and work in the areas of antioxidants and phytonutrients, arthritis, cancer, digestive health, immunology, inflammation and autoimmunity, lipids and fatty acids, liver health, pro and prebiotics, and sports nutrition. He's done all of this in an environment of natural medicines and has almost 30 years of experience designing products, natural medicines.
He has experience designing products. Okay, I'm so intrigued.
Specifically, he knows the direct sales space exceptionally well. Mark is just a rock star, and I'm so thrilled to have Mark joining our team. And though his bio and his scientific credentials are super impressive, the biggest reason, Mark, I was so excited to have you join the Young Living family is because I know you're an outstanding public speaker and educator, which is really important to us as well.
Oh, come on. wasn't from your academics. It wasn't from your track record. It wasn't from something that could be measured. It was because you're a good communicator and you're going to help us unduly influence our team better than any other doctor can. Okay, got it. Fixed it for you.
Bringing the really cool things that we do as a company, all of the science and the reason our products are so effective for families.
Tell us.
And educating people on that, and people who are more simple like me and understanding that. So, Mark, it's great to have you with us. Thrilled to introduce you to the team here, and would love to give you a few minutes to just say hello and tell them a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Ben. I'm super excited to be here. I think the thing that gets me most excited, I just heard those presentations from Brad and Corey about what all of the different things that go into essential oils, hundreds of farmers, many different countries.
Yeah, Dave, Mommy gave me the trial transcripts from the doTERRA, the Young Living versus doTERRA, and you will not believe it, Dave. You will not believe it. So we need to find a time so you can be on live because it is wild. I'll give you a hint. Surgery is involved. And doctors are not involved.
Around the world, science is a little bit the same. It's multidisciplinary. And I was just delighted when I came to visit Young Living Essential Oils to see the breadth and depth of the scientific expertise that's here. What an amazing team that's already here with chemists and cell biologists that are here that are doing amazing work. One of those scientists, I think, wrote 4 review papers in the last 2 years here already.
Oh, that was the worst part, Mommy.
No one person can do anything. It's really a multidisciplinary affair with, whether it's immunology, cell biology, genetics, biochemistry, chemistry. We need that big team. And that's what we've got right here. Just tons of horsepower at Young Living.
We will never hate you.
The other thing that I was really impressed with is the quality of the labs, the laboratories, and the equipment that's there. I mean, this is state-of-the-art stuff. And, dozens of chemists that are working around the clock to make sure that the quality is there, and also sort of doing that exploration that we still need to do. So this is going to be new for me. This is a very new area. I've really been involved sort of more in the biochemistry and genetics of aging, but I'm very excited. This is a whole new area. And, we do know that there's a very strong connection between the sense of smell and our emotions and our physical well-being.
That's true.
There's so much more to learn about that. But we sure know that it works, and I've experienced it myself. So, I can't wait to meet you guys. I can't wait to sort of brag a little bit more about the amazing team that we have here on the science side. We're going to do some really cool stuff together. So thanks for making me feel so welcome.
Well, obviously, we're going to be hearing a lot more from you, Mark, but really appreciate you being here. Like I said, we had to... I don't know if we had to twist your arm too hard, Mark, but we definitely were really excited about having him come. And I wanted to play it cool. If you come on too strong, I did that with my wife when we were dating, and it didn't work very well. So I wanted to play a bit cool, Mark, but I was pretty anxious to have you join our team because I know you're such an outstanding fit for who we are, what we do. And in as much as you'll be learning from so many of our Oilers here, we're going to be learning from you as well, and just excited about some of the beautiful symphonic work that we're going to do together.
Me too. Really? Thanks so much.
All right, fantastic. So you'll hear more from Dr. Mark Bartlett here. Moving forward, he, as I mentioned, will be our face of science. Mark mentioned already, we have some brilliant scientists on our staff. But many of them they're really good at lab work. They're really good at research.
Every scientist is good at lab work. Are you me right now? What does this guy even know what he's talking about? Yeah, literally, stop it. Scientists know how to do testing. That's what they do. If they have a PhD, they've done it for their dissertation. My sister-in-law has a PhD in genetics. I don't know the subspecialty, but she is a professor, and she initially started out her testing on buffalo, and then had to then she changed it to a virus, some kind of virus. I don't know all the details. I am not smart. If they have scientists on staff, it is more likely than not that they aren't lab techs, which no shade to them, but he's talking about, I'm guessing, PhD level scientists. And they literally, if you have a PhD in the science that they're talking about, you already know how to do stuff in the lab. Give me a break.
They're good at developing products. They're good at clinical studies, but they're not necessarily the stage type of people. And we're grateful that Mark is both of those things. So excited for his skill set and what it's going to mean to all of us as he educates us on. The more I learn about our products, the more I learn about oils, and the more I learn about nature, the more impressed I am. And I know that Mark is going to impress us in lots of ways. So welcome again, Mark. Really happy to have you with us and excited for everyone to get to know you a little bit better as I have. He's a perfect fit for us. So just grateful that you're here. I meant to mention this before, but I also do want to remind everyone that Jacob Young has an outstanding podcast, The YL Drop. I know I saw it in the comments there. If you don't currently subscribe.
We get to snark on Jacob Young's podcast? Okay. We're doing it. We're adding it to the lineup. Heck yeah.
Subscribe and download. You absolutely need to. Even more so your people. It's a great way to get to know who we are as a company. And I'm a podcaster. I love listening to podcasts. Every one of these is stellar. And the Brad Chatterley podcast that was referenced was loaded or uploaded on August 1st. So it's available. You can share it around if you want people to better understand Seeds of Steel and hear more from Brad in a longer format.
No for me.
That's a great place to do it. So Jacob, thank you for bringing these stories to us and sharing all of the outstanding people and knowledge and experience that exists in our Young Living community. Okay, so just a couple of other things to wrap up. We will be posting a Q&A addressing some of the concerns from recent social posts. Like I said, please consider the source of what's being said. We only share.
Heck no. Whenever a company does this, whenever they say consider the source, they're saying the source that you are considering is not someone that we want you to listen to. That's what they mean every single time. Yes. Damn it, Carl. What's with all these freaking work calls? Don't they know I'm listening to DC? Yeah, what the hell? Consider the source. Consider the source when someone who is actively practicing Christian was offended by what the book that she received from Young Living. One, her privacy was violated because someone had her address and sent her a Young Living product, a Young Living associated product, and after she had left the company. One, big mistake. Two, she receives the book thinking that there is an association with Young Living because the foreword in the book is written by Mary Young. And in the book, if you are a practicing Christian, whatever, I'm saying that in the book, she was upset by what was written in the book because it conflicted with what she believed about her faith, okay? She was upset. In Young Living, they said, oh, she's just trying to recruit people into Modere. She didn't post a recruiting link or talk about a team call for 3 or 4 weeks after all of this stuff had happened. But you know what happened before she went on with her recruiting? The day of, when she was talking about the issue she had with the book, guess who slid into her DMs? Not Brooke Christen, one of my uplines, her upline, Jessica Garvin. And guess what Jessica Garvin said to Melissa Truitt? You are a disgrace to network marketing. So not only are you trying to silence people that I was associated with, I was on their team, are bullying others. Are you kidding me? No thanks. That's a no for me. And then my uplines were gaslighting people in the group chats. So he's full of shit. Yes, I don't think that I don't think that if you aren't a Christian, you're not gonna get it's like more new agey stuff. I'm saying for her, in her context, she got upset by it. That's what I'm badly trying to say for sure. Consider the source. If you stay, will there be monetary gain? If so, don't listen. Yep, I think it was a shit book too. I think it was more new age with her type of Christianity she believes. I think that she was genuinely upset by it, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, Mombi has an incredible blog, and if you've seen some of her comments here in the live stream, how good she is with putting all of the words together and saying incredible things. Her blog's stellar. New Thought in Scientology mainly. Yeah, so go read her blog. Oh, Mombi, I'm gonna make you a moderator real quick. If you want to link your blog, I would love for you to. Is that okay? Do you want to do that? And then you can link your blog if you want to. So the link will show up now. Yep, it uses Hubbard's tone scale. Super interesting. I need to read up on that. I don't know a ton about Scientology other than it freaks me out. Oh, we have to keep listening to him.
This because these lies can be insidious. You have people who are having heartburn over it. We can provide these responses. We have obviously nothing to hide.
I love how he laughed as he said, we obviously have nothing to hide. Obviously, people are concerned you have something to hide. So why are you laughing about it? Well, I mean, I get it. I like rules. I sure do. I like integrity. I like ethics. I'm a big fan. To mock the people who have questions, it's frustrating.
and it's in the document. Still, however, I think the best path is to block and disregard those who share content with the sole purpose of tearing down your business and Young Living. I know it's frustrating.
No, it's not. I mean, maybe it's my purpose and Mombi's purpose, but the people who have questions about what's going on are people who actually like your product. They actually like the Young Living product, and they're getting treated like trash. They're getting treated like trash because all they can see is any question, any dissenting thought is an actual assault against Young Living. Give me a break. I hope the company gets shut down. It's just from a marketing perspective, from a customer service perspective, it not only makes me mad because they're a multi-level marketing company and they're participating in undue influence and information control and thought control and all that other good stuff. How is this actually serving the people who already like your product? You don't have to spend money on getting new customers. You've already got the customers, and those customers, meaning those brand partners, have questions, and you're saying those questions are just them trying to tear down Young Living. No. It's just it's such a twisted perspective.
I know anytime I see it, it offends me too.
If you're in marketing, curious people shouldn't offend you. Questions shouldn't offend you. You should go into negative feedback with a curious focus, because sometimes there's really good information in those questions that can help you pivot your business into a stronger position. And you know what? I went to community college, so what do I know? I've only been working in the industry for 14 years. What do I know? What do I know?
That's why I just prefer to not see it. I've got other more important things to...
Tangent, I'm trying to gut and scale a fish and comment my screen is seriously slimy now. Dave, you're so talented. I wish I know you're not on Instagram. I kind of wish you were, because your life sounds incredibly exciting. And I would also love to see your dogs all the time.
To do with my time. You know who we are. We've traveled together. We've had dinner together. We know each other's families, and we're all doing our very best to empower wellness, purpose, and abundance in the world.
Buddy, this is the worst positioning for an argument. They didn't answer any questions. You raised more questions, and then you doubled down and said, we like each other. We spend a lot of time with each other, so you can trust us. What? I hope you can sanitize the heck out of your phone, Dave. I'm sure you can. That's why they're bleeding reps. This dude needs to go in a business sense, not any other kind of sense. Dave's pretty smart. I think he has it made being off of the internet.
That's what we do, and I want to make sure that we stay focused on that. To wrap up,
why don't you stay focused on your customers and serving your customers? Why don't you do that? If you were focused on that, maybe you'd have a website that didn't crash. Maybe you'd have products that you could keep on the shelves. Maybe you would have people who cared about the FTC and not making health and income claims. If you were focused on the customer, you would dynamically change the trajectory of Young Living, and you don't give a You just think that people with dissenting opinions are poor little haters just trying to tear down a company because we hate seeing people be successful. Give me a break. Noah's first post-surgery walk tonight. Oh, yay, Dave. That's amazing.
I want to share a poem that I heard when I was a young man.
Not a poem.
And I think it's very apropos for some of our topics today. And I think what life is all about, certainly life as you're out uplifting, supporting other people, building people, helping them to chase dreams, do things they never thought possible, is our business. And the poem that I'm going to read to you is anonymous, but it's called Builders versus Wreckers. Let me read this.
Do not even read this poem.
For you. I passed one day through a lonely town and saw men tearing a building down. With a heave ho, and a husky yell, they swung at a beam and the side wall fell. I asked the foreman, are these men skilled, the kind you'd hire if you had to build? Oh, no, he chuckled. No, indeed. The common laborer is all I need. Why, I can destroy in a day or two what builders have taken weeks to do. I thought to myself as I went on my way, which of these roles have I tried to play? Am I the builder who works with care, strengthening lives by rule and square, shaping my peers to a well-made plan, helping them do the best they can? Or am I a wrecker who walks around content with the labor of tearing down? You don't build by wrecking and tearing other people down. You build by loving, caring, supporting, learning, teaching, and blessing others. At Young Living, builders are wanted. Wreckers can go elsewhere. We don't need them. That's not our business. That's not who we are.
Guess what? Demo crews are actually a thing in construction, and sometimes they also build. It is an art to be able to safely tear a building down. People aren't just saying, man, I have an inkling to tear that house down. I'm going to go do it. What? Are you kidding me? Yes, his rhythm is off. We don't necessarily hate it because we do not like him. I will not eat it, Sam. I am. Yes, Dave. I bet the chat was like, yes, we're builders.
And so let the wreckers in your life go.
No, thank you. Do not tell me how I'm supposed to perceive other people. No, thanks. I'd rather have a free mind. I'd rather you stop telling me how to think and behave and what people are and are not acceptable in my life. Are you kidding me? What kind of culty shit is this?
If you're a builder, surround yourself with builders. Surround yourself with people who uplift, who validate you, who breathe life.
What about people who tear down buildings where the buildings are dangerous to the community and them being up is a potential hazard for pedestrians? What about those people? What about actual positive outcomes for tearing buildings down? This is such a dumb comparison.
Life and passion into you. That's the kind of people that we need in our lives. We don't need the wreckers. And we get to decide who's in our life. We get to decide who gets the airtime, who gets the space. Your time is yours. Your attention is yours. And so I just want to remind us all to spend our time in positive spaces.
The amount of people in multi-level marketing who talk about being positive and that those positive places are the only safe spaces. You know how many situations that wrecks, relationships that wrecks, friendships that wrecks? A ton, crap ton.
To spend our time in places that make us feel better about ourselves, make us feel better about the world around us, that make the world a better place. That's what building.
You know what? Sometimes hearing feedback about stuff you do wrong does make the world a better place, because you could become a better person when you're able to process critique in a way that's meaningful and truthful about a situation. And you'd say, okay, that's helpful. I'm going to take it. I'm going to learn it. I'm going to become better from it. How can you do that if you never hear that from anyone? When you're constantly cutting people out because you don't want to hear any negative thoughts in your sphere.
Building is all about, and that's who we are as a company. So let's stay focused on that building. We have so much to
Mommy, what if your building is a meth house? Tear it down, I say.
Do. And I told you this before, but our business is turning. We are growing again. And I know it was really hard. We had a really tough run of about a year, a little bit more in some cases, depending on where you're at. And we're not the only ones. All the direct sellers have just published their Q2 results. I only know of one out of scores that have posted their results who actually saw growth in the second quarter of this year. It tells you the environment's been tough. So if you're...
Yes, that is true. So a lawyer reached out to me and was showing me the information regarding Peloton dipped too, and Beachbody dipped for other reasons. But the projection after this difficult year, after the Panini, it's different about Peloton's ability to bounce back and Beachbody's ability to bounce back. It's different. Yes, you are correct, Mommy. If he uses the word pivot, I'll let out a shriek.
Business hasn't performed the way you've wanted it to. Let me tell you, the environment's been tough. And we just have to do the best we can with the circumstances.
Why don't you have a website that works for your customers? Why don't you keep product in stock? You know? Why don't you... I don't even know what else. I just don't even want to give you any suggestions. Why don't you just stop?
Circumstances were provided. But I'm also telling you this, that environment is changing. Our message is resonating. People are remembering why they need a side hustle with all this inflation. People are remembering why they need community with all of this
prey on people with
social
inflation going on
and quarantining. People have realized that they need these products in their lives to live healthier, more
blink, blink,
I don't know if I
blink.
can say toxin-free, but I'll say toxin-free lives that surround themselves with positive things, with things that don't have toxicity, whether it be toxic people, toxic products. Let's have the goal of no toxicity in our lives, and we get to choose. So I just want to remind you, you are the captain of your fate. You're the driver of your business. And where you spend your time, where you're focused.
You're the driver of your business, but apparently we weren't driving when the situation was really hard during the Panini. Were we the driver then? When are we the driver and when are we not? I've got questions.
Focus goes, your energy flows. Let's focus on sharing oils. Let's focus on sharing our mission. Let's focus on growing your business. Let's focus on chasing your dreams. That's what we do as a business. And that's what I'm here for. I'm not here for the other stuff. And I know you're not either. So let's not.
I know you're not either. Why are you speaking for everybody? Ben, asking for a friend.
I'll lose sight of what really matters. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm running the Gold Retreat because I've got 9 minutes. Can't wait. It's going to be a fantastic week for me. These are the things that feed my soul. You and your lives, the way you live our mission is what feeds my soul.
He's so intense.
Doing it. Please keep feeding my soul. Keep building.
No one's feeding your soul. Everybody who's feeding his soul, stop it.
That's the kind of thing that really fires my passion. So thank you for all that you do. Thank you for your leadership. I'll see you again next week. In the meantime, be well, and thanks for all that you do.
Mombi? I don't even know what to say. I'm so mad. Yeah, we're feeding his freaking pocketbook. Feed my soul, fire my passion. Why is he so cringy? I don't know. He's like angry. He's super angry sounding too. Please keep feeding my bank account. Oops, I meant soul. What the hell's going on? I don't even know what to say. Literally, if they don't watch that and say, I understand why we are bleeding reps, they need to get a whole new C-suite in that company. I mean, I'm hoping they kind of shut down, but how can you watch him and listen to him and then have any doubts about why they're bleeding reps? You know? I mean, that's just my perspective. Sorry, DC, your pain. What's going on just made me actually laugh out loud. They're going to shut down. They can turn this stuff. They can't turn this stuff coming out around. They especially can't when they have people like that who think that people asking questions are the enemy. Your customers who have questions that you've already got, you've already paid for those customers, and you're alienating them. You literally learn this in school. I've learned it in working for big companies. I learned it being in a boutique firm right now. What is going on? How can they have this like so off track team leading Young Living? Oh, I forgot to tell you, DC, you just reminded me. What? Mombi has all the deets tonight. I have to get a longer thing for my arm. That's okay. Remember the Grow Up group got archived? Yeah, I was still in that group. Or maybe they kicked me out. Who knows? I feel like without a crystal ball right now, I'm trying to fix my eyebrows. The owner went to Modir? What? Okay, if y'all don't know, Grow had close to 80,000 followers from In Young Living and randomly had a post the other day that, or maybe, I don't remember when it was exactly, but said, you know, this group is so big and it's too big to manage and we're going to archive it because we are not the close small group that we once were, blah, blah, blah. And Mombi just told us that the person who owned that group went to Modir. Mombi, live chat. Have you read any of the lawsuits? You know who's named in so many of the lawsuits where Young Living is suing their former brand partners who go to Modir? Do you know who's named a ton as reference material for this specific book that teaches you how not to get sued by Young Living? Justin Prince. And if y'all know who Jessie Lee Ward is, you know who Justin Prince is because Justin Prince sued Jessie Lee Ward. Hello, Janet. Good morning. How are your little floofy babies? Hope you had a great sleep. I know you only got like half an hour or 30 minutes, or I guess that's the same thing. You have so little sleep. And Mombi, the bad part is his book is not in evidence, and I can't get a copy of it. But guess what, Mombi? You know Cheryl Spears, who I live stream with for Beachbody stuff? She was pitched on a call by Justin Prince and her former upline, and that book was brought up. And this is why MLMs are incestuous. Yep. You would think I starved them babies. Oh, they're hungry. They're just growing and hungry. Janet, I won't yell because you just woken up. Shh, Janet, you're late. Holy crap. This is 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Literally. Justin Prince is in the middle of, not in the middle, but he is, he's contaminating the waters of the Young Living reps. And the reason, or some of the reason why so many people are, other than being unhappy at Young Living, he is helping facilitate that. What is that called when a huge horde of people move across country? Not a migration. That's for animals. What is it called? A trek? No, it's not a trek. A pilgrimage? No, I guess pilgrimage is appropriate because of Modir, but he's kind of facilitating it. An exodus. Dave, you're so smart. Live chat? I wish I wasn't at work because I would have commented more, but it would mostly have been incoherent rage screaming, so maybe not good for text. It is totally okay. I'm gonna embarrass myself. Oh wait, where's our live chat? Dang it. Where'd the live chat go? Underneath. Dang it. Sorry. Is it Helena or is it Helena? Or is it Helena? I was gonna say Helena, but I would just like to be corrected so I can think your name correctly in my head. Anyone watching the CCTV here will hear a random yelling. Glad I work alone. Yeah, I thought you could do something with private. Helena, is that correct? Blink twice if Helena is correct. I'm joking about the blink twice, but we've just been typing blink blink. And I'm sorry I have a Texas accent, so I'm so sorry. I know I'm embarrassing myself speaking out loud. I know. I missed everything. Those couple of hours sleep are not worth it. I'm just No, Janet, I'm gonna let you watch the video. Here's the deal. Live chat. Mombi, thank you so much for letting us watch that. It was an incredible gift. I'm ragey, but the fact that you let us watch it was amazing. I am going to thank you, Mombi, for this blessing of a show. Lynn, I hope you eat something delicious for breakfast. I'm gonna go ahead and end the live stream. Y'all are incredible. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and roll the outro, and I will see you in the Discord either later today. All right. Outro, where are you? It's gone. Wait, what the heck? Where's the outro? Response. Oh, end screen. Goodbye. Have a good night or day whenever you're watching this.